you are watching, pause. We pause for a second or two. How do we keep life coherent when so much is changing? This is episode 210, Paradoxes on Paper. Right now, we can all feel that there are many things in our lives that seem to work against each other. It would seem that there are many paradoxes in life. And as we go about our lives, each of us are carrying all of these paradoxes inside of us, in our hearts and in our thoughts and in our bodies. Sometimes one way of the paradox can be in our heart, and the other way of the paradox can be in our thoughts. And at some other time, there might be some third part of the paradox we cannot really come to terms with, that is in our body. And it can go on, it can be even more things than just three. And yes, we are seeing now throughout our world and in our society and in our personal lives as well. It's on all levels at the same time. We can feel and see that these different paradoxes of life that we keep within us is sort of becoming more unbearable. Today's episode is called Paradoxes on Paper. So we have talked now about that each of us are carrying the paradoxes of life within us. But what we're talking about today is one of our specific skills, one of our specific emotional skills for our long-term situation. Our long-term situation is for when we think about our future, when we are worried about our future. We all are worried about our future right now. It would be self-deceiving to say that we are not. Of course we are. The stakes are so high now. So each of us are now in our long-term situation. The situation when we are worried about what will become of us. Where will we end up? And the Polaroid we're talking about today, the emotional skill, is a specific skill sketch. It is specific for our long-term situation. Specific skill sketch is very simple. It is one of the most simple skills that we have. And basically it's just to put, to the best of our abilities, to put what we are carrying inside of us on paper. And that's it. It is very simple, but very effective. So often, we all know this, that when we have a tough time reaching, perhaps not a goal, but reaching where we are supposed to go, putting our thoughts and our feelings to paper, it really helps to sort of get that flow going. Often when we feel cramped up or tense or scared, just writing it down on paper really helps. It really does. So, today's episode is called Paradoxes on Paper. And that is because that paradoxes are especially suited, especially effective to put pen to paper with. So, if we put one paradox of life on paper now, let's say right now, we think we have to be perhaps most about being constructive on the one hand, or be most about being destructive, to conquer something or to defeat something or to rule over something. And this is one paradox that we all carry inside of us right now. So let's just put that to paper. I don't know if you can see on the camera, but I've only written constructive and destructive next to each other with a line in between. And the point now is not to choose one of them, The point is not to try to say yes on the one hand but on the other hand either. The point of this is simply to make real, make physical that we are carrying this paradox inside of us. By putting it to paper, by using our specific skill sketch, we are making real something that already is real, but we're making it more tangible. So if I would leave this piece of paper here on the table, and I would leave the room, I would get up and leave, then the paradox would still be here as I have left. I have sort of taken the paradox and also reproduced it outside of myself. So it's not only within me now. Do you see? Now the paradox is in two places. Now it is in me, but it's also here. And the paradox is also in a third place now. It is in this video. So, specific skill sketch is about this, that all of us are very lonely, carrying all these paradoxes inside of us. It is extremely lonely to harbor all these impossible pairs of opposites, if you will. It's a lot of work to carry that around. And now, in this video, we have paused and we have sketched our paradox. So now the paradox can sort of breathe. The paradox can move. It can sort of grasp things. It can interact. So before I wrote it down here, it was just inside of me. It was pent up. It was pushing in solitude. But now it is still in here. It's not less in here now. It's just that now it has been allowed to move. A lot about our long-term situation, our worry about the future, is that we worry about what is going where. Where am I going? Where are you going? Where is this third person that I think a lot about going? Where is this group going? What will happen when these two groups meet? And in a sense, that's a lot about paradoxes. How seemingly mutually exclusive things still are in one and the same picture. So it can both feel like they should not be able to exist at the same time, these two things that we're having, whatever they are. But still they do. And sometimes, often, when something feels very complex, that we don't know really what to categorize something as, then it could be that we have one paradox going this way, and then another paradox going. We could have a third, and a fourth, and we can have so many paradoxes that we don't really know what to say about this. We just know that in here, in the middle, and in the whole picture, we have something very complex. And we pause. We put pen to paper. We sketch whatever is on our mind, whatever is in our heart or in our body or in our situation. And we just allow for these different aspects to be on the same page. We're not fixing anything here. We're not coming up with any solution. What we're doing is that we are opening up paths of development, paths of communication between our inside and the outside. So if we put something paradoxical from the inside on a paper, then we have something to build on. Long term, we have something to build on. We have some path to make a connection. And that in itself is long term. However long that may be. However long that may be. But really, specific skill sketch is very simple. It is that we have something inside of us that we cannot really... It feels clogged up or it feels hopeless. And we just put it to paper. That's all. Nothing more. We don't try to solve anything. It's not like a mathematical equation to be solved. We just put it there. And then that's it. That's it for today. Thank you.